That's a good fish right there. There we go, girl. Woo, man.
Let's Take It Outside is brought to you by Fishbrain, the world's #1 fishing app. Download it free now and start hooking up.
I am so excited to bring you guys this episode of Let's Take It Outside, because not only are we taking it outside, we are taking it offshore in the Gulf of Mexico, in my hometown of beautiful Clearwater Beach, the grouper capital of the world. I finally get to go fishing with my son, U.S. Coast Guard veteran Brennan Wells. He's back from Alaska, and we're going to be reeling him up offshore today.
Yeah,
for 2 days.
I know, I'm super excited to go out. It's been forever since I've been back in the Sunshine State, so I finally get to come back down here, fish for some grouper. I got back about 2 months ago from Kodiak, Alaska, and enjoying the warm weather and can't wait to bend some rods.
This episode is sponsored by Fishbrain, and one thing that you really need to focus on when you're going fishing, whether it's inshore or offshore, that's kind of your one-stop shop go-to place. Just go to Fishbrain, open it up, it'll tell you what's in season, what the size limits are, or what you're gonna catch, photograph, and release. So Brennan, let's tell them what the game plan is, okay? We're gonna leave the dock very shortly. We're doing an overnight trip, which again, a first for Let's Take It Outside. We're heading to a wreck called the Tuesday Wreck. Now, I've never been there before, so I'm really excited to fish it. I think what we can expect is we're gonna chum up some yellowtail, hopefully some African pompano, possibly some amberjack, use a little bit of light tackle. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh, it's gonna be a blast, and hopefully we can get on the yellowtail pretty good, and then afterwards, go target those grouper.
That's right. After that, we're gonna move over 12 miles to the historic middle grounds where everybody wants to go fishing here in the Gulf of Mexico on the west coast of Florida.
It's not gonna be that heavy of a full. Huh? No, I got the drain down here. Yes,
We
sir.
need to put a towel on.
Go.
Like every fishing trip, like something's gonna go wrong. It's just the way it is. Hopefully it's only one thing. So the one thing that went wrong is the saltwater washdown quit working. So for basically 75 miles, the guys were in the back of the boat and getting buckets of water and just constantly keeping that flow going.
Yeah.
All the way out here, 80 miles.
Well, we took our 1.25 inch hose while we were running 30 knots, about 35 miles an hour. We had our 1.25 inch hose, and we would take our hands and stick it over the side of the boat while we were going 30 miles an hour, and the water would force its way up the hose and go into the live well and into our 5-gallon buckets. So we did that for 75 miles, and believe it or not, we have 250, 300 live baits out there in that bucket, still alive.
I'm giving Hero of the Day awards to 2 people.
Yes.
To Captain Kevin and my son Brennan, because Tommy pitched in a lot, but he fizzled out and then had to drive the boat. And like I said, 75 miles back of the boat, dumping buckets, all the way here, and not one bait died. So,
Not one bait.
Hero of the Day award, Captain Kevin and Brennan.
Let's Take It Outside is brought to you by Fishbrain, the world's #1 fishing app. Download it free now and start hooking up. Minn Kota trolling motors, built to outlast, outmuscle, and outperform the most trusted trolling motor on the water. Humminbird Electronics with Mega Down and side imaging. Fish have nowhere to hide. Simply, clearly better. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, Everything you need to take it outside under one roof.
Are you ready to catch more fish and have the information the pros use? Then download the free Fishbrain app today. Fishbrain provides you with the tools and skills you need to perform better every time you hit the water. Fishbrain is the world's most popular fishing app. Whether you're fishing inshore or offshore, freshwater or saltwater, Fishbrain has you covered. Catch bigger, catch better. Fish smarter today, Fishbrain.
The best of both worlds looks a little like this. Here, a morning of sunbathing transforms into an afternoon of flying. And a peaceful day spent kayaking is really an adventure exploring nature's theme park. Look at this! Could be anything from a cannonball in the pool to a rocket in the sky. So, what are you waiting for? Discovery awaits on the only beach that doubles as a launch pad. Florida's Space Coast. Only here.
Our children come from different backgrounds with different stories. They learn time-honored values like the importance of faith, hard work, and that an education is something no one can take away. They learn that respect begins with themselves and should be given to others. The Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches, where kids learn, laugh, and dream with people who refuse to give up on them. With your donation today, we can give them a brighter tomorrow.
This episode of Let's Take It Outside is presented by Fishbrain, the world's #1 fishing app. Download it free today and start getting hooked up.
We've been chumming the water for about 15-20 minutes. Things are looking good. We see some fish coming up in the water column. So it is time to get fishing. Our lines have been wet for no more than 15 minutes. We already got 4 species, some caught and released, 1 in the box. The chum is flowing, the fish are coming up in the water column. I think I've seen a cobia, I've seen a lot of yellowtail. So far, only 1 in the box, and we got plenty more to go. As you guys can see, this wreck has produced exactly what we were hoping for. We have caught some monster yellowtail snapper, big old mangoes, lots of jacks of all varieties. I caught 2 sharks, not really what I'm looking for, but it's been a blast. And you guys could see how we were fishing off the back, keeping the bail open, just letting the line and the bait drift with the chum in the water column and just kind of letting it go. And when they swim by, it's like, bam, your line goes tight, close that bail and reel in the fish. So it's been really awesome. I think so far Kevin is in the lead, I'm pretty sure. But we're all having a blast. It's so fun. Pretty soon we're gonna move over to the middle grounds, about 12 miles. And it's going to be epic, epic bottom fishing. We've got to keep that live well going. We're in hour number 8 of still dumping buckets, but that's okay. Bait's alive, and pretty soon we're gonna be catching some gag, red snapper, American red snapper, and who knows what else. It's gonna be fun. This This episode is sponsored by Fishbrain, and one thing that you really need to focus on when you're going fishing, whether it's inshore or offshore, just go to Fishbrain, open it up, it'll tell you what's in season, what the size limits are, or what you're gonna catch, photograph, and release.
Holy lionfish.
Oh, whoa!
Lionfish.
Keep that.
Bring him in here?
Yeah.
Bring him in here.
Zach, Sam, I need you back up.
So this is a really venomous fish, but is actually really, really good eating. So this is a lionfish. And they are crazy, crazy. Look at this thing, they're so venomous, it's crazy. But also amazingly good eating. Nice job, Kev. Get this thing off of there. Hold that.
The sun is setting and it's so beautiful out here in Calm. We're about to wrap up day one. Tommy's caught 2 nice gags. I'm still trying for mine, but I mean, you guys have seen all the fish coming over the rail today. It has just been epic out here. You know, first at the wreck and then coming over here to the middle grounds, bouncing around a little bit. I think you saw the change in the catch from, you know, using sardines and then going to live bait. So now you know why we struggled with our makeshift live well all day, because it's so important to have that live bait. But I mean, everybody is on fire today. Like, we are catching so many fish. And day one, folks, I can't wait to start fishing with y'all tomorrow.
What lies beneath can no longer hide. New Mega Imaging Plus uses high-frequency sonar to show you fish and structure up to 200 feet below your boat and 200 feet out to either side. No more secrets, no more guesswork. Just a clearer picture of the world below, down to a fish's species and direction. Because more detail means more of this. Only from Humminbird.
Shepherd's world-famous entertainment beach resort is the ultimate Florida getaway. Located directly on Gulf waters, you can't get any closer to paradise. Immaculate rooms boast ocean views and high-end upgrades. Shepherd's famous entertainment pleases the whole family, offering water sports, fine dining, live music, a nightclub, and much more. Come visit Shepherd's world-famous resort and experience it for yourself. Hi, this is Misty, and I want you to win big this season. Scan the QR code you see on the screen, text the word TV, and you're entered to win charters, vacation stays, rods, reels, and apparel. Follow us on social media for the weekly winners. You're invited to come visit the Alligator and Wildlife Discovery Center located at historic Johns Pass, Madeira Beach, Florida. The center is home to over 250 animals. Our Discovery Center provides a place for education and conservation. Don't worry about the Florida weather. Our entire center is indoors. Have you ever wanted to feed a sloth, pet a pig, or kiss a gator? Come visit us at the Alligator Wildlife Discovery Center. Visit kissagator.com for more information.
When the sun went down, talk about the show. It was so fun. The sunset was beautiful, of course, and being able to spend the night offshore is phenomenal. Doesn't matter what kind of boat you're in. I've slept on the deck in a beanbag, slept on a boat like this. It's just incredible, man. It's so fun. You get rocked to sleep by Mother Nature, and there's nothing better than that. But before we went to bed, you know, we turned on the spreader lights out back, and one of the craziest things that I had never seen before was all these flying fish. I mean, thousands of them. They weren't super big. I want to say they're about that big. You can see it in the footage. Just everywhere, flying everywhere, going a little crazy, kind of flying into the boat. A few flew into the boat. We put them in the live well. They're really good bait as well. So actually, I have to give a shout out to Sam, our cameraman, because he's on the side of the boat with a net, just loading up on the flying fish, putting them in the live well, loading up, putting them in the live well. We're dropping them down and catching fish on them. It was like pretty epic, I'm not gonna lie. An entire school of spotted spinner dolphins showed up, and that was their dinner. They were going crazy. There were huge spinners, babies, I mean, just the whole pod of them swimming all around the boat, just, you know, having a great time, having a great dinner. Day 2, offshore middle grounds, Captain Jeff Deschamps. Well, what's the plan for today? Yesterday was pretty epic, so I don't know how you're gonna top it. What are you gonna do?
It was a good day yesterday. Just about round out a full load of snappers, so
Yeah.
we will try and shoot for some more gags as well.
Yeah, how many gags do we have? Do you know?
I think we're about 7.
Okay,
But
really?
good studly
Okay,
ones. Yeah,
good.
studly ones. Little cleanup, beautiful morning, little cleanup from some nighttime fishing,
Yes, yes.
which was awesome as well.
It was incredible.
And I think because we kind of got to end it today, we'll start bouncing bottom back to port and see what else we can do and round out the box.
So it sounds like our marching orders are more gags in the box, round out the snapper, and
I
then,
agree.
hey, you know what? Let's catch something on the flat line.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Deal.
Okay, deal, man. Oh, that's a really good one. Okay, Kevin, I'm bringing it around. Here we go, bringing it up. Woo, look at that. Wow. Didn't even put up much of a fight. Yeah. Nice. And again, that's what happens in the middle grounds. It's magical.
big game to bottom fish, the catch and release movement is catching on, and King Sailfish Mounts has been there all along. King Sailfish Mounts empowers anglers to celebrate their prize catch with no harm done. If you know the species and approximate size of your trophy fish, you can order online. You can also send us your photos and our artists will handcraft your mount down to the finest detail. Choose from the 175 species of game fish on our website. We're not just a fishing mount company, we're a conservation company. King Sailfish Mounts.
So, you want this, but you can't have it without this, or this, or this. Until now, introducing a new way to travel, intranationally. Get all that international charm without ever leaving the country. Right here in St. Augustine, Ponte Vedra. Get all that culture, all the cuisine from that culture. You're welcome. All the gram-worthy sites from that hashtag culture. Right here at home. St. Augustine, Ponte Vedra. Travel intranationally.
Let's Take It Outside is brought to you by Hilton's Real-Time Navigator, the technology you need to catch more fish and use less fuel. Fisherman's Ideal Supply House, St. Pete, Florida, family owned and operated, your one-stop boating and fishing shop. Penn, superior quality and designs. Get ready for the battle. High Standards 4x4, Lakeland, Florida. You perceive it, we achieve it.
Hey, we just anchored up on a new spot, and the show on the machine looks really good. We had to move off that other one because all we were catching were American red snapper, and that's not the targeted species for what we're trying to do today. We're going after gags. It's all about the gag grouper. So I'm really hoping that this spot's gonna bring it home. Look at that, look. Face of determination. Oh. That's what happens when you lose a big one.
I'm going to show you how to fillet a mangrove snapper because there's a couple different ways to fillet them, but I go in right here behind the gill, come down behind the head, and I go right up behind the gill right there, all the way up till I hit that bone. Then you want to turn your knife and come down the body until you find that backbone. Once you find that backbone, you're going to make one straight cut all the way down that backbone. And we're going to do this. Now I just made that cut, and that is all the way to the backbone, as you can see. Once I make that cut, I'll go over the backbone, go down the backbone on the other side, and then out the bottom of the out of the bottom of the snapper. Now this whole fillet is released. Now what a lot of people do is they'll take their knife and they'll just chop it off right there. But what they don't understand is you're losing a lot of fish when you chop that off right there. So all fish have what's called pin bones. And the rib bones, if my fingers were the rib bones, the pin bones go like this, just over the top of the rib bones. So if you take the tip of your knife, just like this much of it, you score those pin bones, then you can fillet that whole fillet off the ribs and out the bottom. I'll show you how we do that. Take the tip of the knife, go over the top of the rib bones, just like that. And as you can see, I just exposed the rib bones right there. And then you just let your knife fall right down the rib bones all the way through. And there's your snapper fillet. Almost 100% boneless except for the couple little pin bones right here that I just cut.
Now that we've caught, filleted all of our fish, Clearwater Beach has a unique thing at a lot of our local restaurants where you can do hook and cook. And what that means is you can bring in your fresh catch and have them cook it up any way that you like. Now, one of my favorite places to do this is Shepherd's Beach Resort, right out at the Tiki Bar. The cool thing I love about it is I can put my toes in the sand, margarita in my hand, and they do all the work because I already did all the work catching it, and they'll do all the work cooking it. What do you love about it, Brennan?
So I love Shepherd. It's not even just for the view. I mean, awesome beaches, not to mention the beautiful sunset we're about to have. But it's also a great family place. They have a nice stage area where you can come and watch concerts. It's a great place to hang with the fam and just have a good time.
And tonight, live reggae. But check them out because there's usually live music or something fun going on here at Shepherd's Beach Resort. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this episode of Let's Take It Outside as much as I've enjoyed filming it, fishing it, and especially with my son Brennan. What a blessing.
It was the best.
Yeah. And I hope it encourages you guys to spend more time with family, get out there with your kids, get out on the water, or anywhere in the outdoors and have some fun. I can't wait for you to join us on the next episode of
Let's Take It Outside.
You good? You rolling? Yeah. Okay, he's rolling. And action.
Mommy, good! Okay, we're saying, let's take it outside. That's a wrap.
Pointing the finger?
Yeah, pointing the finger.
Which one?
Just
pointing
this
two
one.
fingers?
Only this one.
Let's
take it outside. That's a wrap.
wrap.